Okay, so after round one, I thought I'd show my AFL Fantasy team. So hopefully people have the rookies I've picked because that's probably the only thing that's going well at the moment for this team, it's fair to say, as often is the case in AFL Fantasy. So you can see my total ranking there, and you've also got my score. So a lot of the premiums and mid prices are the ones that have really let me down. But in defense, that's where I've been particularly let down. So Jack Crisp, awful score. Hopefully he rebounds from that. Otherwise, I could be in trouble. Tom Stewart, yeah, look, he should really be going better. Same with Lockie Whitfield. Same with Jaden Short. Justin McInerney, that's absolutely awful. I expect better. Considered having James Sicily and probably should have, but I just had the extra money available to get McInerney instead. So, looks like going one round in, probably a blunder on my part. Hewitt, the one sort of good score, I guess you could say. And then McCartan and De Koning. So, yeah, look, I'm glad I didn't have to field any defensive rookies, mainly because if I had, let's say, McCartan on the field, well, who would be the other reasonable rookie price defender? There really isn't that option in AFL Fantasy. So, structurally like it. The actual sort of players in there, I'm not all that high on. One round in at least, based on how they've gone so far to date. McRae, I've just made him sort of a perma captain. Josh Kelly, he's actually the one midfielder I wasn't all that sort of high conviction on, but it just sort of worked out. I had the money to go to him, so I thought, yeah, I'll just put him in just for that reason. And look, he finished last year really well, so I'm hopeful he'll be one of the top at least 8 scoring midfielders. Lockie Neal, he was always underpriced. Matt Rowell, hey, maybe he's almost a keeper. So I think for Supercoach he'll be a keeper, but for AFL Fantasy, he could come close too. So hopefully you've got him in your team. We've got the rookies, of course, where we've got Dacos, good score. Horne-Francis, about as expected. And then you've got Ward, who had a disappointing scoring round, but I think he'll recover from that. And then you've got Josh Rochelle, who luckily, at least in AFL Fantasy, I've got on the field. So, yeah, I'm going to keep all those guys on the field, it's fair to say. I'm very comfortable with how all of them are going to score going forward. So Ward should do a lot better than 41. During the Amy, he was fantastic for Hawthorn when Mitchell and O'Meara were absent, so I'm assuming he rebounds. Assuming he's got the CBAs. So if anyone's got the CBA stats for Ward, I'd be interested to see. Because assuming he's at least attending a reasonable amount of them, well then, yeah, he should substantially increase from this 41 scoring and be in this Horne-Francis territory plus more weeks than not, I would be suggesting. So bench options. So McDonald, I was always very confident in. Mitch Owens, he was disappointing, but yeah, it was just a case of, I guess, those other cheaper rookie midfield options are pretty poor to start the season, and there weren't really as many of the, I guess, cheaper options named as I'd hoped. So, yeah, that's why he's there. I guess the daring call, you could call it, Max Lynch in the ruck. So, and it was just a case if he got hurt early and had to get subbed out. So, I might have been a concussion from memory. But yeah, basically he left the game early. So, yeah, I think it is a concussion and he's going to miss a week. So, given that, I'll probably just sort of flip him straight to Braden Preuss, given Preuss will presumably be back in this week. So, Tim English, good score. Jack Hayes, outstanding score. So, yeah, I'm happy to be a bit unconventional through the ruck. Hayes, I'm not going to necessarily field. I possibly could in the forwards, but yeah, I like him certainly at least as this bench cover. And then if I've got, say, a Preuss here, well, if I'm getting Hayes' scores, that's awesome. So, more than happy to run with that. And then the forwards. So, Dunkley, good score. Cornelio, good score. Heaney, Butters, they're all good. Brody, look, he played 65% game time, so if he plays a little bit more, that's good. Tristan Jerry, that's good. Nick Barden, incredible score. Don't expect that every week. If you want to field him, you could. It's a bit the same with sort of a Jack Hayes, but hey, that's outstanding. And then you've got Corey Durden as well. So all the rookies I'm happy with. There's no rookies that I'd say I'd want to move around. And then, of course, Saligo as well, I've got here. on the bench. And again, another disappointing game. But yeah, rookies I'm comfortable with my structure. It's just a case of, I guess, yeah, a lot of the players, and particularly in defense, have really let me down. So hopefully we get a few of these guys sort of elevating their game, because they're the reason that I'm in the 30,000s versus inside, say, the top 10,000 at least one round in. So yeah, hopefully those that have followed me have locked in the same rookies that I have, because if you have, you'll at least have the rookies right. And then really, I guess, any pivoting will just be down to those mid prices and premiums, which, yeah, hopefully at least in defense, your team is looking a bit healthier than mine, because it's looking pretty disgusting at the moment, it's fair to say. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions for trades, yeah, let me know. Because that's an area of AFL Fantasy I actually don't tend to do too well on, because I'm someone where I feel like I could lock in a team in round one and probably outperform anyone. But with trades, just not following the injury list close enough, who's in and out, who might be a last minute out, they're all the sort of things that I'd miss that would see me leak points over the course of a season, and not necessarily finish as high as a starting team like this probably should. So, and certainly with the pretty consistent and capable rookie selections that I'll make each year, which will really be the right ones each year largely. So yeah, if there's any particular AFL Fantasy or Supercoach content you'd like to see during the season, let me know. There's other people that really follow this stuff a lot more closely than I do, it's fair to say. So I don't have any particular plans at this stage in producing any more during the season. Maybe, say, mid-season draft as all the new players come in, given I'm a junior footy watcher, state league watcher, as well as obviously AFL. I can sort of give some insight into those sort of names and maybe give some of that. But yeah, it's really during the preseason, I really want to help people out with getting the right rookie selections largely, because I'm someone where ultimately every player on every list I've got a pretty comprehensive knowledge base on. But anyway, guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like this video for me. That certainly helps the YouTube algorithm, and I'll see you guys in the next video.